Hello, and today we'll continue with Reconnected. Horse metal blends seamlessly into the more refined design of the main gathering area for students. The intricate decorations adorning the walls seem to flicker and dance with energy as the gently fading sun casts its warm glow across the room, bathing everything in hues of clementine and crimson. Even though it's still daylight outside, I can tell that quite a bit of time has passed by. The radiant ball of light is lower in the sky, and the shadows strewn across the ornate floor are distorted and stretched, squishing themselves flat before they are consumed by the rapidly approaching light. C22. That corridor should be just up ahead, right? Well, here on my right. The students there the students still lingering about the tables and chairs throw me the occasional side-eyed glance as I walk past them. It's not like I expected anything to change in the short time since I last saw them, but even if they haven't changed, I sort of feel as if I have. Atticus believes me, and and of all the genitalians I've met, his opinion is the only one I actually care about. The scornful looks don't matter to me, well, not nearly as much anyways. Things like that always used to get under my skin before. I always felt the need to be on everyone's good side back home, and I hated when people had me on their shit list. I used to lose sleep obsessing over whatever silly thing I did wrong, constantly worrying about how my image was viewed in others' minds. A coin flipping over and over again in my head until it finally settled on one face as sleep took its subtle hold. But now I don't give a shit what they think. I don't give a shit about fitting the mold that other people cast. Seems like I'm on everyone's shit list here, whether I like it or not. It's just such an inevitability now. I'm the bad guy. The guy that is oh so easy to hate and detest. Fuck anyone who thinks like that, honestly. The fact that I'm here in these halls at all, not behind bars, should be proof enough that I didn't do it. But that doesn't really matter to them, does it? I am other, an outsider, and I'm fairly confident that I'm going to be like this for a very long time. Kai doesn't view me like that. Neither does Atticus. Arcadia? Well, I guess he's just like the rest of them after all. My steps pause towards towards the far end of the common room, taking one last look over the scattered genitalians before I go off and confront Vultress. I'm painfully aware of how I appear to them now, of how my height and size could make me seem like a killer from their perspective. As I stare down at them, I can't help but notice how they all avert their eyes just a moment before my own will make contact with theirs. They are certainly really engrossed in their homework or snacks when I look at them, but the moment I carry on, I can feel the burning heat of their disdain branding the back of my neck. Cowards. All of them. I just fucking wish for a single second that they'd wait. A pair, well, I just fucking wish for a second. I just fucking wish for a single second that they'd wait. A single pair of lucid black eyes meet mine dead on, not sighing away from me in the slightest. A field of brown fur and two curved ears is their backdrop, and familiarity seeps into me as I recognize just who it is that I'm looking at. Kezza. The Urzid is sitting at one of the tables farthest away from me, a few other Xenos lounging in nearby seats beside him. His rounded paws are folded under his short muzzle as he stares right back at me. Kezza's companions are laughing a bit at some joke that's out of earshot, but he isn't laughing with them. He's just staring at me, watching, listening, observing. Should I wave? I suppose he and I are sort of acquaintances as well, even if last time I spoke to him it ended on a rather sour note. I did deserve it, to be fair. Kezza was being an insensitive prick, and I let him know as much. I lift my paw up, giving him a half-hearted gesture of acknowledgement. He does it way back, choosing instead to give me a sly wink, paired with a toothy grin. Another joke at the table, and this time he laughs along with them, but his gaze doesn't waver for a second as he stares me down. It's like he's not even really a part of the conversation, like drinking in every detail of me is far more interesting to him than his friends. I guess that makes sense if you stop and think about it. The guy seemingly has dirt on everyone, so it's a bit fitting that he's a people watcher through and through. He leans back in his chair, crossing one muscled leg over the other as he relaxes, perfectly content to observe everything happening around him, but never really involving himself in it. Just a fly on the wall, watching it all go down around him. It's kind of creepy, not gonna lie. I turn my back on him, setting a brisk pace as I move away from the common room. There's a bit of hesitation in my feet and a slight shake in my paws. Whether it's from my most recent episode or if nervous about going to meet Vultress, I'm not sure. Make no mistake, I am nervous to do this. There's no point in denying it. I'm just not sure if that's what's causing my body to feel so shaky. I know for certain that Kai isn't going to like the idea of me talking to him, not one bit. The worst part is that I won't even be able to hide it from him if I wanted to. Kai would be able to smell Vultress on me from a mile away, so that's going to be a fun conversation we'll have later, and I am not looking forward to it. I don't even know why I'm overthinking this. I have to go meet Vultress. It's necessary, for Kai's safety and for mine in the long run. Just then, Hallway C steps into my view, and I take a reluctant stride into its confines. The environment is completely identical to the hall leading to mine and Kai's room, and to be honest, it's a bit unsettling. The hard metal walls are the same, the polished tile floor is the same, the decorations are the same. It's all the same, except this hall doesn't have a murder happen in it. And I walk, scanning over the door numbers for the proper one. I can't help but feel uneasy, like there's something hiding just out of sight. A ghost I can't see, an entity only I can feel. The doors start to blend together as the end of the hall grows closer. C18, C8, C18, C19, C20, C21, C22. The nerves really are starting to set in. Well, the nerves are really starting to set in now, and I can't seem to stop my tail from flicking back and forth, a clear sign of just how apprehensive I really am. Guys, why am I so afraid to do this? Do I knock? He's probably not even in there, for crying out loud. Last I saw him, he was headed into the city, but fuck, I swear time moves differently here. It feels like only a few minutes have passed, even if I know it's been hours. Rather intimidating, honestly. I must have been out cold for quite some time after whatever the fuck happened to me before Atticus found me. I reached my paw forward to wrap my knock into Vultress's dorm, but just I'm about to make contact, I hear something muffled echoing from within. It's hard to make out, but it definitely sounds like there's someone in there, and they're breathing heavily. I press one of my pointed ears against the cold boundary of the barrier between us, careful not to make too much noise. Is that grunting? Maybe panting. Are those footsteps? Either someone is getting their ass kicked or Oh shit. The door slides open, and I'm met with a face full of black fur adorned with dangerously sharp spikes. Vultress is breathing heavily, but he doesn't seem to be injured or hurt. The Vulperian rests one of his arms on the doorframe, leaning against it as he pants. What the hell did I just walk in on? Just what the fuck do you think you're doing here, Solorian? His words are labored, interspersed with heavy drags of air being drawn into his chest. The obsidian fur all over his body is coated with a slick sheen of sweat. Just then the source of his exhaustion steps into view. A small, rather flushed Zenillian, looking a bit battered and bruised, hurries past me. He ducks under Vultress' arm, refusing to meet my gaze as he scurries down the hall, holding what looks like a shirt that's been ripped to shreds. My eyes track his wobbly steps and awkward gait before he vanishes from my sight a few moments later. Excuse me, I believe I asked you a question, and I'm expecting an answer. Shit. I whip my head back around, craning my neck up to look into Vultress's bloody eyes. Was that your roommate? He didn't seem to be in too good of shape. Everything all right in there? Roommate, not quite. Sitting there is a bit of a dreary planet compared to where I come from. But there again, the locals do seem to have developed quite an appetite for a male such as I. It's not uncommon for the braver Xenos to stop by my door, wanting to get a taste. Who am I to deny them their satisfaction? He gives me a wicked grin, his saber fangs shining menacingly into the ambient light of the hall. Besides, it's not like I get nothing out of the exchange. I get all the tail I could want, and they get to experience my finer talents. Something those weak little foxes they've grown accustomed to could only dream of doing. Even if the lack of challenge makes the experience far less pleasurable. It's far better when you witness submission rather than it being given freely. My fur bristles a bit at his brass comments, and it's pretty obvious to me now what activities were going on just a few moments before I arrived. What terrible fucking timing. This guy certainly doesn't seem to have any shame in regards to his more private dealings. Maybe it's normal for him, but that doesn't stop me from feeling embarrassed. The fur just under my eyes blushes up at the implications, and I take a step back away to get some space between us. There again, something tells me the Quick Wolf's new pet isn't here to offer himself up to sample my superiority. So many questions, yet so many answers. Solorian. Vultress's grin fades as he leans forward, his hot breath ghosting dangerously over my muscle. Tell me, what brings you here? His snarling voice crackles down the hall, bouncing from wall to wall like a lightning bolt as it rushes past my ears. I actually came here to talk to you, if that's okay. Talk to me? Never before has someone come here simply to talk. He folds his paws over his muscled chest, glaring down at me from above them. The Vulperian is radiating an aura of suspicion, like he doesn't believe a word that I'm saying to him. He leans even closer, possibly trying to get a better read of my facial expressions as he determines my reasoning for being here. Joke's on him, I'm not lying. I really am just here to talk. Vultress scans me head to toe a few times, drinking in every detail with meticulous precision. Well, consider me the first then. I'm not here to try whatever it is that you offer the Zenillians. I really am just here to talk, like I said before. The massive creature blinks in surprise before grinning at me with a knowing smirk. Is that so? And what could a Solorian possibly need to speak to a Vulperian about? His muzzle pulls back in a surprisingly gentle smile as he chuckles under his breath. It wouldn't have to do with the rather unfortunate tragedy that occurred the other day, would it? If you are here to accuse me of being the murderer, I assure you the peacekeepers have already stopped by, and they were just as unsuccessful as you are about to be. Accuse him? I'm not here to accuse him at all. This guy really thinks he has it all figured out, does he? Like he can see right through me. Like he can see my every move before I decide to make it. God, he's so pretentious and arrogant, and I can't fucking stand arrogance. My lips spread in a thin snarl, standing my ground against his wild assumptions. Far from it, actually. No, I'm not here to accuse you of anything, even though it would make perfect sense that you could be the one responsible. After all, it would take a pretty strong guy, a real male, as you like to describe yourself, to rip a hole in the ceiling like it was made of paper. Vultress growls deeply, his attitude flipping over the edge of a knife as he swipes one of his deadly claws down towards me. Watch your tongue, Solarian. Saying such things carries weight in a place like this, and I know for a fact you're not strong enough to lift it. I raise my paws up as if I'm surrendering, even if a bit of a smug grin is proudly adorned across my face at how easily I was able to get a rise out of him. I can diss it. Well, he can diss it, but he sucks at taking it. Typical bully. As much as I would like nothing more than to put this asshole in his place, I still need him on my side. I don't think he's taking kindly to someone standing up to him. If it's meekness that I need to show to get the information I desire, then perhaps it's some meekness I have to give him. As long as I make it seem real enough, he should buy it. Arrogance is easy to manipulate, after all. You're right. I'm definitely not strong enough to handle the consequences of making an accusation like that, especially not to someone like you who could seriously fuck me up. That's why I'm not here to do so. I simply need your help. I hope my subtle compliment was enough to do the trick. His rather pissed off expression slowly fades away, gradually being replaced with one that's far more difficult to get a read on. The rocky and rigid tone of his voice is gone, sounding far more somber than angry when he speaks again. Help? For me? What sort of thing could I possibly provide you with? I know all about you and your people, Solarian. I know all about how you're the ones responsible for this exile of the very same species gathered here on this shithole of a planet for this Reconnected program. And I know for damn certain that you're up to something with that insufferable Quillwolf Kai. So forgive me for not taking your words at face value when you come to me asking for help of any kind. How do I know you're not trying to set me up? His claws scratched harshly against his thick thighs, tracing thick furrows into his black fur. How do I know you're not trying to use that devilish, clever tongue of yours to get me to say something you can use against me down the timeline, huh? Seems he's not going to be as helpful as I was hoping for. How he knows Kai and I are into each other's beyond me. Is it really that obvious? I have no idea how he's got that information, especially considering how fresh and recent it is. But since he knows that, it really hurts my chances here. Vultress obviously hates Kai just as much as Kai hates him, so that has to make me pretty far down on the list of people he's willing to have a conversation with. He seemed to respond well to me, putting him up on a favoritive pedestal, so I guess that's the weak point I should probably focus on exploiting. The seconds pass between us as his final statement hangs heavy in the air. The words themselves refuse to drift away, clinging onto the tension for dear life. I guess you don't know that. You're right. I could be here to try and con you into making some twisted confession that I can take out on contacts to get the heat off of my back. But then you should probably ask yourself where that would leave me. My voice becomes a bit more stern as I gather up my remaining confidence. If I did a thing like that, you just cart me off into the woods outside the university and I'd never be seen from again. For a Vulperian like you, it would be pretty easy. I might just be saying this to make him feel good about himself, but at the end of the day, it's a terrifying thing to handle, to realize that it's not exactly wrong. He could crush me faster than I have. He could crush me faster than I have time to realize, if he wanted to. I shrug and take a daring step towards him, closing the gap between us, yet still remaining just an inch out of his reach. So why the hell would I come here if the end result is me picking a fight I have no chance of winning? You could beat me blindfolded with one paw tied behind your back, so that's how you know that I'm telling the truth. I wouldn't have come here if I had any other choice. Kai doesn't like you, and to be brutally honest, neither do I. I'm here because I have to be, and because I really do need your help. You're the only lead I have, and the only one that could actually help me get, that can actually help. You're the only lead I have, and the only one that could actually help me to get some answers. A smug look creeps over his muzzle, spreading from ear to ear like a wildfire slowly consuming a droughted forest. I could help you, couldn't I? Perhaps you're actually here for benevolent reasons, but you're not nearly as clever as you think you are. Or perhaps I'm not nearly as dumb as you assumed I was. You folded your winning hand, Saloyan. But what? What the hell is he talking about now? Folded my winning hand. This isn't a fucking gambling game. And if it was, I certainly wouldn't be the one with an ace up my sleeve. His eyes surely betrayed my confusion because his smug look vanishes just as quickly as it appeared. You said I was the only lead you had. Lead. You are here after the murders, aren't you? That much was obvious from the start, and now you have confirmed it. What the hell do you want from me? I have already told the peacekeepers my alibi, and I have no interest in telling it again, especially not the likes of you. Do you hear me? I'm not going to discuss this with the likes of you. Our conversation ends here. I have no interest in talking about the murders with you. He looks around the hall, scouring every detail on the walls before the massive Vulperian turns his back on me, starting to retreat back into his dorm. An overwhelming sense of urgency crashes down onto me as my last chance of protecting Kai and myself begins to walk away. Wait. Time to put all the cards on the table, I guess. He pauses mid-stride, one of the massive claws on his feet dangling a few inches above the ground. Kai and I went to the peacekeeper station as well, and just like you, we had an alibi as well. But what might be different is that they showed us the footage of the murder. Vultress finally allows his foot to press into the floor, his thick claws gently scraping at the hard tile. The spikes on his shoulders and elbows make a cracking sound as he turns back around to face me, his eyes galvanizing to blood diamonds. He seems mad at my words for some reason, but there's more to it than that. Is that fear? Shut up, Saloyan. The Vulperian's gaze darts around our surroundings. His feet suddenly looks shaky beneath him. He's searching for something, or perhaps he sees something I can't. Almost like he's hearing voices coming from the halls. Almost like he's hearing voices coming from the walls, just like I do in my nightmares. Shut up. No, I'm not going to shut up. I need to talk to him. What? What are you talking about? Like I said, Kai and I gave an alibi to Chief Tellis that he let us go. You're not afraid that I'm the killer, are you? The moment I mention Kai and I have an alibi, Vultress' face fills with anger like he's seeing enemies in every corner of the hall behind me. The whites of his eyes are slowly consumed as an inky blackness dwells across his vision, turning them into two avatars of the abyss. I said I'm not talking to you about it, okay? Don't open your mouth again, Solarian. Leave me alone. I'm going into my room now. Alone. He says the last few words much louder than the others, like he's calling out to someone else. Gods be damned. I have to get to the bottom of this, regardless of the consequences. I can't let him walk away. I reach out, placing my arm on the back of his shoulder. His bristling fur is coarse to the touch, and the fabric of his clothing is tough and fibrous. Vultress, look, I don't know what the problem is here. I have to talk to you, and I'm not leaving without my answers. Like a bolt of lightning, Vultress twists around faster than I could possibly react to. His heavy paws slam against my face, gripping my muzzle tight and forcing my jaw closed in his vice-like grip. With a vicious snarl, he drags me into his dorm room by my face like I'm nothing more than a slab of prey waiting to be consumed. Red eyes, putrid breath, a pained whimper escapes my lips as he hauls me off my feet, just a rag doll for him to play with. What the fuck is he doing? Panic grips at every one of my organs as fight or flight kicks in, and I start swinging wildly at my captor. The door slides closed behind us, locking me without his black lair. My arms and claws swipe viciously at the back of his head as he drags me, but even from someone of my stature, it doesn't seem to faze him. My blows glance off my blows glance off his dense muscle and fur, uselessly as my fears get superseded with reality of what's about to happen. I'm at his mercy, and no one is coming to save me. My claws rake over his body, vying for anything they can hold onto as I try to break free. I manage to get my fingers around one of the deadly spikes protruding from the shoulder, their hard texture feeling rough beneath my paw, and I dig my claws into it. My assault finally earns me a harsh grunt of pain for Vultress as his eyes wince. His head whips around to face me before he slams me against the floor, stunning me. Vultress wraps my limbs up with one of his paws and he climbs over me, uses his weight to pin me down. My mind goes blank as I snap with my jaws, fighting for my life while biting at his arms and face with my fangs in the dark. His other paw swings down, punching me across the skull with devastating force. My vision turns to stars as bright lights burst inside my eyes and my jaw goes limp. As he squeezes down, it becomes impossible to make any sound at all besides my muted whimpers of fear and agony. I need someone to know what's happening, but I can't scream even if I wanted to. There's no way I can get my jaw open. He's just too fucking strong. I flail my body, around wildly, searching for anything I can kick over to make a noise loud enough to get some attention. The beast squeezes my shoulders with his thighs, freeing up his arm to wave above his head, which turns on the lights. He lowers his muzzle, pressing it right against my ear. I can feel the moisture of his words condensing on my delicate fur as he whispers my subtle eulogy. Stop squirming, Solarian. I warned you to keep your mouth shut. You said far too much, and because of that we might be in trouble already. You have said very incriminating things, whether you know it or not. He pulls me up off the ground, carefully letting me get to my feet firmly beneath me. My Vultress still keeps his imprisoning hold over my face and body, not allowing me to move an inch. Stop squirming. What the fuck am I supposed to do? I keep fighting for dear life against his heft, pure adrenaline coursing through my veins. My claws press hard into his ribs, and I feel a redness sliding down my digits. Another growl echoes out of his chest, but this one isn't one of pain. It's one of frustration. Solarian, I'm not here to harm you. I'm here to help you. I need you to stop fighting me. His whispered voice ripples down into my very soul like a pebble being dropped into a bottomless well. His whispered voice ripples down into my very soul, like a pebble being dropped into a bottomless pit. His whispered voice ripples down into my very soul, like a pebble being dropped into a bottomless well. Like hell you're here to help me, fucking psycho. My leg kicks out, trying to slam into his groin, but his reflexes are too fast. Vultress dodges to the side, and my sin slams into a hard mound of rigid muscle instead of the tender area I was aiming for. A squeal of pain cascades from beneath my compressed muzzle as one of his saber fangs tears into my scruff. My flesh peels away under his bite, and hot trickles of blood cascade down the back of my neck, plastering my fur with a sticky ooze. Vultress licks his lips as he pulls his face back, swallowing my blood. He presses his muzzle again into my ear, whispering tensely once more. Enough. You will calm down, or there will be far more severe consequences than that, I assure you. The walls have ears here, Solarian. They can hear everything. They know. But what? What is he? My eyes finally meet Vultress's as I squirm and struggle, and he's not angry at all. He's fucking terrified. His eyes are filled with a panic that could rival my own, his face contorted with uncertainty in every rigid expression. The normally pristine black furs bristled and raised all over his body, making him seem even more intimidating, and his tail is thrashing wildly against the wall behind him. The peacekeepers, Solarian. The Zenilarians. They have audio bugs in this room and in the hall. I fucking know they do, Solarian. I only hope that they believe I am in here alone and that you walked away. I can't risk you making a sound, and I can't risk speaking openly. He grimaces deeply as he struggles to keep his voice down. I told you to be silent for a reason, you fool. You can't discuss the murders with me. At least not here. But you're right. These obviously involve you just as much as they involve me. Since you foolishly said more than you should have in the hall, I don't really have much of a choice. You stole that from me, and yet I believe we might be able to help each other. But if Does any livings catch wind of this, we're done for. My limbs stop their attempts at breaking free as his words rattle me to my very core. His room is bugged? That's why he's doing this? He thinks there's people listening in on us? Then why the fuck would he do this to me instead of just writing that down on a data pad and showing me? Why the fuck would he do any of this? He said he needs to speak with me too. We might be able to help one another. Vultress's voice whispers grow more intense, and I feel his body grow impossibly more rigid. We're going to have a little chat, you and I, but not here. Definitely not here. The Xenilarians will surely believe that we were conspiring together if they hear a single word. That's not something that can occur. Solorian, they cannot know that we are talking about this together. Trust me, that would be very bad for both of us. His arm flexes against me as he forces me to face him fully. Eye to eye, blue to red. Bad for us both. Seems like I'm the only person that's getting the short end of the stick in this interaction. My muscle gasps in pain as his claws dig into my skin, through my fur, carving red crescents across my body. I will release you, but only if you promise me that you will remain quiet. Do you understand? You scream, and it's both our heads on the pike. Trust me on that. Those red irises, normally so cocky and stoic, are filled with nothing but fear and concern. He's telling the truth. I want to fight back, but it's almost like there's something inside me saying he can be trusted. For parents are a warlike species, born and bred for combat, to show no fear. He is terrified. That's not normal. I can't overlook this. It has to mean something. It doesn't really matter if he's telling the truth. He's gripping the shit out of my face, and it fucking hurts. I just want him to let me go, and something tells me if I tried to run for help, he wouldn't allow it. He's acting like a wolf backed into the corner, ready to bite at anything that gets too close. I take a shallow breath through my nose and give him a gentle nod. It's hard to get my head to move because of how intensely his grip is digging into my muzzle, but I hope it's enough to convince him. If he was going to kill me, then I'd already be dead. Vultress already has me right where he want me if he was truly going to harm me. The Vulperian nods back to me, and ever so slightly his grip loosens on my body and face. Remember, Solorian, not a sound. My jaw stretches wide as he starts clamping it shut. Blood seeps back into my now free paws as I reach to the back of my neck, dabbing at the shallow wound there. It was just a nip, even if it didn't feel like it. Those fangs of his are no fucking joke. A sigh of relief eases out of Vultress, filling my ear with the sounds of his satisfaction at my compliance. I know you have no reason to trust me. In fact, you have every reason to not trust me. I'm perfectly aware of this, but I need you to trust me now, Solorian. I don't have much time left, and neither do you. And the Xenilarians succeed with their fucking schemes. It's over for me. The tone of his voice is shaky, like the words are walking across a tight rope over a pit of vipers. I pull away from him, my head coming to rest against the cold wall behind me. My paws dip down to my pocket, pulling out my data pad so I can write a message to him. I flick open a notepad as he stares at me with curious eyes, and I begin to type. Why did you attack me? What schemes were you talking about? I shakily pass the data pad over to the towering creature, worrying not to touch his dangerous claws as I do. Vultress reads over my brief message for a moment before he starts to type one out himself. He flips the data pad around, keeping it in his paws. I couldn't risk you saying anything else, and I didn't know what else to do. I panicked. Sorry if I hurt you. he's sorry. He panicked. The few times I've interacted with him, he's been disgustingly full of himself. Yet now he's being apologetic and rattled. I reach out, gesturing for him to give me back the data pad so I can respond to him, but he just shakes his head. Vultress takes a step away from me. His paws quickly dance across the screen for a moment before he turns the device back to me. Sorry, Plover. I need to speak with you. Actually, speak with you. And I need to make sure you're going to show up. I'm keeping your data pad so I know you'll be there. This conversation is going to happen, whether you like it or not. Heat quickly floods my face as I realize the implications of what he's trying to say to me. The bastard is stealing my data pad to be used as collateral. He's using it as an incentive so that I have no choice but to go and talk to him. Is he fucking insane? I already told him that I would talk to him before, but why the hell does he feel the need to steal from me? Not like I could actually tell him that. I know for a fact if I open my mouth to speak, he's going to grab my muzzle again, and this time he might not let go. All I can do is sigh and nod, letting him know that I'm on board with whatever stupid plan that fucked up brain of his is concocting. A faint grin spreads across the backdrop of his saber teeth as he begins to type again before he shows me his message. Meet me downtown, near the slums. None of you know where the police sector is. The police sector? He means like the peacekeeper compound I was in yesterday with Kai? Why the hell would he want me? Why the hell would he want to meet there of all places? I mean, yeah, I know where it is. I was just there, but you know what? It doesn't fucking matter. This guy is Office Walker, and there's no use arguing with idiots. I just nod again and leaving it at that. A few moments slowly pass by, and the Vulperian has its response typed out. Good. Once there, I will find you. I will head there now. You will wait 15 minutes in the common room, and then follow as well. I don't want to be seen leaving with you. It would raise suspicion. If you don't show up, I'm smashing this fucking data pad. Do you understand me? What a fucking prick. I just nod again, and defeated sigh escaping my lips. Yeah, I understand. The Viperian's grin widens, and he types one last time on my data pad. Good. This will all make sense soon enough. See you then, Solorian. Without a word, Volterra stalks out of his room, walking down the hall with my precious data pad in tow. I'm a goner without that thing. The special tech in it is custom tailored for me, and is probably hard to replace if the lady I met on my first day here is to be believed. There's no way I could solve this goddamn riddle of a case without it. Vultress is a fucking dumbass. I wait a few more moments, giving him time to create some distance from us before I follow behind his footsteps. I walk out into the common room, eager to get away from his dorm. I am never going back there again. The common room is completely empty now, everyone having retired to their rooms for the night. I settle into a vacant chair a few paces in front of me, preparing to wait my 15 minutes before I go talk with that moron. What the fuck was that about anyways? He flipped out on me the second I mentioned that Kai and I had an alibi. That much is obvious. But why? Why does nothing here on this fucking planet make any goddamn sense? What aspect of Kai and I having an alibi has anything to do with him? And more importantly, why would us speaking about it be considered incrimination? All I know now is that I'm expecting some fucking answers from that damn alien, and they had better be good. A slight grin spreads across my face as a light bulb flares up inside of me. Vultress was fucked up too, and I don't think even he has realized it yet. He was terrified that I had said 2 months, so terrified he assaulted me out in the open where anyone could see. If he was that afraid I'd say something that could get him in trouble, maybe that might give him maybe that might give me a bit of a leverage with him. There's a semblance of control in this messed up situation. Obviously, I could never overpower him physically, but now I know that I can threaten the blab. That threat alone might get him to behave. I don't have that same aura that Arcadia has, so having this in my back pocket might just be the tool I need to find my answers. I gotta cover a few more lines here. Uh, I have to get Kai and myself out of the boiling water. Come to think of it, Arcadia did the same thing the first day I met Vultress. She got him to behave, but only after she threatened to tell his uncle. Seems like threats and implied consequences work well with the Vulperian. Aye, figured I might find you here, didn't I? What's it doing here, aye? My head whips around, and I'm face to face with Kezza's black eyes, just a few inches away from me. Fucking hell. You scared the shit out of me, man. Why did you do that for? What the hell? How the hell did he sneak up on me like that? Kezza chuckles at my dramatic reaction, folding his paws across his chest. Apologies, mate. Didn't I mean to scare you like that? Just a bit curious, that's all. What's you up to on a night like this, eh? You's looking mighty troubled about something this clear as. Alright, so we gotta see a different side of Vultress. Yeah, and I think the cocky, arrogant part of him, well, I do believe it's kind of true to who he is. I also think that's a front as well. I think it's kind of like a mask for him to shield himself from suspicion, because he's very worried about what's going on Zenithir, because while he's not being officially accused of murder, he certainly does look like it, like he could have done that. But anyway, he believes his room is bugged. And I think it's because of who he is. Now I don't know if it's just him or it's the whole place, but I guess in his mind, because of who he is, his room was bugged, and he does not trust the Zenithirians, which is why he got really forceful with Plover or Ego, and he had to get physical with him, physically subdue him so he could explain to him that it's not good to talk out loud about their dealings and about the murder, because there are cameras and speakers around where they can hear them talk, the Zenithirian authorities. So Vultress has given Plover a place in downtown where they can come and openly discuss the murder and what they plan to do going forward. So that's what Plover's going to do. So yeah, we gotta see him scared and frightened, and he even told Plover that he wants to help him. That's what I figured earlier from what he said in the past. I mean, he does sort of want to help Plover out. So, but at first, like in this part here, he didn't seem like he wanted nothing to do with Plover. But I guess like Plover kind of unwillingly put him in a spot where he has no choice but to help him now. With him talking about the murder without with the speakers on. So we got to see him with sexual activity with Zillian. Well, we didn't actually see him do it, but it was implied that he was in some sexual activity with a Zillian. So he's gay too. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe eventually they'll make a CG about it. Him and Zenny Lillian. Anyway, so hope I hope Kai or I hope Ego or Plover and Kai eventually get themselves out of this situation, because right now they're completely alone. I guess Atticus kind of, well, I don't know about Atticus. He probably still thinks it's Kai that did the murder, but I think Kai is at least willing to talk to Plover. So that's kind of half bad, half good. And Acadia, she's completely bad. Well, not like bad person, but like bad as in her being a person that we can't get help from. She 100% believe that Plover committed the murders, and I don't know if she thinks Plover did it or if it was Kai. But anyway, she really doesn't believe. She believes that Kai was the one who did the murders. I think it's kind of weird because Kai was supposed to go and talk to Acadia. So if he did that, I wonder what happened. I guess he wanted nothing to do with him. I don't know. We got to see next time in the next update. Just a little heads up. The next update, the next video I'm doing on this current update, we're going to be talking with Kezza, and then the update will end. So we're about at the end, really. We're not going to see anybody else but Kezza from, for the rest of the update here. Yeah, so we'll continue with we'll continue with Reconnected next time. Thank y'all very much for watching. Goodbye.